If I could go back to my first year of lifting, there are some things that I would have done very differently. So I'm going to share these things with you today so you can avoid making the same mistakes. This one is a little embarrassing because it's actually something that I've only realised very recently. So for a long time, I thought that basically the more you can do, the better, as in more sets equals more gains. Unfortunately, that's not actually the case. It's all about the quality of your sets. So there's this term called fatigue maxing. Basically, it's just you're doing far too much and you're not seeing the benefits that you would think you're getting from doing that much volume. That's essentially what that is. And I've realised that I have a tendency to just go all out on every exercise, be doing drop sets, bloody whatever it is. But the issue with all that sort of stuff is that then it just kills you on that one exercise and you have nothing left for the other exercises. So today, for example, I did a drop set only on my last chest exercise, because if I was to go and do dumbbell press as the first exercise, if I did a drop set on that exercise, I'd go into my next one just cooked. Quality and consistency will beat volume and ego any day. Training for strength was a big turning point for me. You see, before I started focusing on my strength, what I was doing was just winging it in every session, and it meant that I wasn't seeing the progress that I was after. I wasn't logging my workouts or measuring anything. That can work for the first year because you're getting newbie gains, but as soon as you get past the period where gains come super easy, you'll just fall off. Without seeing the data, I didn't know that I was progressing. Now, you may have heard of the term progressive overload. Essentially, this just means every week you're increasing the volume or intensity just to try and add a bit more every week, and so that way you build more muscle. Because if you just stick to the same weights every week, your body gets used to lifting that weight and it doesn't feel the need to put on more muscle. So by tracking your lifts, you can progressively overload and make sure that you're putting on the muscle to lift more weight. And you might find that you can't even add any more weight or reps or anything, but you can go by RPE as well. So that's something that I have been using in my program at the moment, which basically on the strength stuff, I'm tracking my RPE, because that way I can make sure that if I'm not increasing the weight, at least the RPE is getting easier. So now I track my lifts, body weight, and even mood, and I've seen a lot of results from it. TikTok would have you believe that you need all these supplements to grow. That's actually not the case. But I'm about to go out for a walk, so I'll cover this when I'm out. So if you want to take a deeper dive into supplements, I have made a video, I think 2 videos ago, basically just covering everything that I take, everything that I recommend, and how it's benefited me. Now, the most important thing to remember with supplements is that they're supplements. I promise you, the reason why you're not making gains is not because of the supplements you're taking or lack of. And you can't replace proper nutrition with supplements. If you eat properly, you'll make the gains that you're after. It's not going to come from this supplement or that supplement. You need to make sure that you're focusing on your diet, because as soon as I started focusing on my diet, everything changed for me. And I really made the progress that I was after. When I was bulking and I ate properly, I was putting on so much size. Now I'm cutting and I'm eating accordingly. I'm losing fat really easily and I'm still keeping the muscle. Lifting with improper form, or ego lifting as it's commonly known, I promise you will hold you back. I remember when I first started, I was so focused on what weight that I was lifting that I ended up just not getting much out of my sessions. You'll see this a lot in the gyms. Like, for example, people will be doing RDLs, but it's just all lower back, no hamstrings, because they're lifting far too much weight for what they can actually handle. If you go on Instagram and you look at the really jacked people, they're always doing controlled reps, slow and controlled. That's why I always preach. And so for me now, I never lift a weight that I can't actually handle, because you're just wasting your time. You're not going to get much out of it. And honestly, I wish I focused on this sooner rather than just showing off. Now, I'm a guy, we've all skipped legs. That's naturally the thing that we like to train the least. And compounds as well, they're tiring, they're exhausting. A lot of people don't want to do them, but honestly, I wish that I focused on those things sooner. You see, my legs are starting to grow now. I mean, you know, they're growing. And I'm very happy they're growing, because it's not a good look having a wham upper body and a small lower half. And so make sure that you're putting leg workouts into your routine, because it just adds that balance. And also compounds. I think compounds are really underrated. I mean, most of my training now is compounds. I obviously do isolation work after the compounds, but I seriously think that I've made most of my progress recently because of those compounds, because they recruit multiple muscles. You put a lot of stress actually through your body doing the compounds, because you're often lifting heavier weights. So as long as you're doing it in proper form, they will really make you grow. You want to think about compound movements as being like one of the foundational pillars of building muscle and gaining size. So take it from me, add in legs and add in compounds to your lifting. I promise you, people are way too focused on themselves in the gym to worry about what you're doing. It's so easy to think that when you go into the gym, everyone's judging you, everyone's watching you. The truth is, they're so focused on themselves They're not even watching what you're doing. I think that's what put me off so much from starting the gym in the first place, because I was so worried about what other people would think if they saw me doing something that was wrong or not doing the right thing. But truly that's not the case. Now granted, there are some environments when yes, it is like this, but I would honestly advise you get out of those environments. For example, right, I used to train at one gym, but I just did not like the people there. The environment wasn't inspiring. I felt like people were judging me. So I moved to a different gym, and suddenly it doesn't feel like anyone's judging you at all. It feels like everyone actually is encouraging each other. If someone's looking at you, it's because they're supporting you or cheering you on, that sort of thing. So my biggest advice is, if you can't escape the feeling that someone's judging you in this gym, move to a different gym, because I promise you not every gym will be like that. And if confidence is the issue in the gym, if you feel like you're just doing the wrong thing and it's embarrassing, well, the consistency will get rid of that. Consistency will make you feel more confident, because when you show up and do something over and over again, you get better at it and you no longer feel stupid doing it. So if confidence is your issue, then consistency is the answer. I remember seeing Mike Thurston's physique a few years ago and thinking, I want to look like him. In fact, I was thinking I'm going to look like him. Little did I know how long... Oh my god. Hello, mate. That's completely thrown me off. Do you pet a goat? I don't know. But let's get a goat cam. Okay, so I'm going to carry this on with the goats in the background. But when I first started the gym, I wanted to look like Mike Thurston. I thought it was going to take, you know, a little while, but maybe not that long. I'm almost 4 years into the gym now, and I don't look like him at all. But you know what? That's fine. A real transformation takes time. It's going to take years. You have to be in it for the long run. If you're going to the gym and expecting to get your dream physique in a year, it's just not going to happen. Plus, when you go to the gym, the goal changes forever. For me, I actually probably have the physique now that I wanted when I first started the gym, but the goalposts have changed, and now I want to level up. I want to get a better physique. Anyone who's ever achieved anything worthwhile in life, it's taken time. In fact, the time it takes to achieve something is what makes the goal worthwhile in the first place. So you want to think of the first 6 to 12 months as just being foundational habits. That's what you're building in the first 6 to 12 months. You're not going to build a crazy physique. It's not going to happen. But you get obsessed with a list of improvements. And what happens is, you go to the gym, you get a pump, and you get a little glimpse into what your physique potentially could look like in the future. And that's what's addicting. But you have to remember, that crazy physique you want, you can get it, but it's going to take time. And so it's about consistently showing up every day. It's the same with anything, but especially in this context, it's about showing up every day, putting in the work, and that will get you the transformation that you actually want. The split you choose to do in the gym is very important, but not for the reason that most people would think. See, the truth with splits is that all splits build muscle. You can see gains from any split that you do. The issue comes when you're doing a split that you don't enjoy, and then you won't see any gains because you're not actually putting in the work, because ultimately enjoyment of it will make you train harder and more consistently. So for me, for example, I don't enjoy just bodybuilding training. It's just not for me. I enjoy the stuff after my compounds, but I like doing the compounds first to just get that strength stuff out of the way, and I feel pretty good by doing those compounds. And so for me, there's no use just doing bodybuilding because I don't enjoy that, and so it's not going to be something that I can stick to for a long period of time, because ultimately the point of going to the gym is to stay going to the gym. You're in it for the long run, and so if you're doing a split you're not enjoying, you're more likely to fall off. So for example, when I'm coaching, I make sure that I program splits of people they actually enjoy. It includes all the things they enjoy doing, because then they're more likely to see the progress they're after. So you need to make sure that your split's enjoyable, because I honestly think I would have seen faster results if I just started doing a split I enjoy. So if you don't enjoy doing push-pull legs, for example, then try out a bro split, because ultimately there's arguments saying that bro split isn't optimal and I wouldn't advise doing it, but if that's the thing you need to do to see the progress you're after, because you actually stick to it and you enjoy it, just do that. Ultimately, there is no best split. You just need to pick the split that's right for you, because that's what you'll see the most progress with. So as I've been making this video, I've realised all of this is a double-edged sword, because on one hand, I was actually very lucky that I didn't have all this stuff to think about when I first started the gym, because it might have confused me. You know, someone telling you all these different things to do can be very confusing. However, also being told exactly what to do can take a lot of the guesswork out of it for you. So I hope the latter is true for you if you're new to the gym. I hope this video has helped you, and I hope that it will help you get the gains that you want to get. If you would like someone to take the guesswork out of it for you, I do offer online coaching, so that a link for that will be in the description. And if that doesn't interest you, I also have a free 30 ways in 30 days to maximize your gym gains. It's an email chain, one email for 30 days. You can unsubscribe anytime. But with that being said, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.